Howdy! In this mini lecture, we will discuss sustainable urban environments, the benefits and drawbacks of cities, and urban ecology. The student learning objectives of this mini lecture are: evaluate urban parks and green buildings, analyze environmental impacts and advantages of urban centers, describe the urban heat island effect, and assess urban ecology in the pursuit of sustainable cities. It's no surprise that urban residents need parklands. Almost everyone appreciates outdoor space. City dwellers want to escape the noise, commotion, and stress of urban life, so it's important to have natural lands, public parks, and open space to provide greenery, beauty, freedom, and recreation. Having these spaces also protects lands that can provide ecosystem services such as filtering pollutants, climate regulation, and wildlife habitat. Spaces don't have to be huge to make a difference. Even small spaces, such as playgrounds and community gardens, can be important. Greenways are another type of natural area preserved or designed by city planners. Greenways are strips of land that connect parks and neighborhoods and ultimately provide access to the city's system of walking and biking paths. Greenways often provide running along rivers, streams, or canals. Greenbelts are similar to greenways. Greenbelts are long, wide corridors of parklands that often encircle entire urban areas. Greenbelts can be used as urban growth boundaries so sprawl is contained and natural areas are preserved for the citizens of the city. While greenbelts are protected park areas around cities, they differ from greenways in that they are corridors of parkland rather than a trail or walking path system. Greenbelts are often used as urban growth boundaries, marking the edge of sprawl and preserving undisturbed open space for city residents. Beyond providing ecosystem services and corridors for wildlife, urban parks, greenbelts, and greenways also help boost property values and provide people a place to gather and recreate. More and more buildings are being constructed following energy-efficient standards in which strive to have the smallest environmental impact possible. This movement in architecture and construction has brought about the term green building. A green building is a building that uses technology to well-planned designs to minimize the ecological footprint of the structure. Considering buildings use 40% of our energy and 70% of our electricity, it's easy to see why there is a need to develop buildings with smaller footprints. When I say footprints, I mean both the area they physically take up and the resources they require to operate. Green buildings are built from sustainable materials, limit energy and water use, control their pollution, and recycle waste. They are especially popular at colleges and universities. Green buildings are certified under the U.S. Green Building Council, which promotes the construction of green buildings through their Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design (LEED) certification program. New or existing buildings can be granted silver, gold, or platinum status based on projected performance. The Interdisciplinary Life Sciences building at Texas A&M is a gold certified building. There are widely disputed problems with LEED in that the certification is based on plans, not actual use of the building. Certification relies on energy models and stated energy use versus actual energy use, which can be very different. Another trend taking hold in the U.S. in regard to sustainable urban living is micro or tiny house or apartments. These are homes that are between 90 and 500 square feet that are efficient and low impact. In some cases, they are less than a tenth the size of a standard U.S. home. Tiny houses have a small ecological footprint by design and can be refabricated or custom built. Because they are so small, it is also much easier to live entirely off the grid, or in other words, to power the home using renewable energy such as solar or wind power. The theme of this mini lecture is clearly urban sustainability. When we try to improve our cities by making them safer, more efficient, cleaner, healthier, or more pleasant, we can at the same time make them more sustainable. The benefits of a sustainable city are: it functions over the long term, generations will have a good quality of life, it minimizes impacts on natural systems and resources. Urban centers or cities are often given a bad rap in terms of their environmental impact, but it should be recognized that urban cities have both positive and negative environmental impacts. Let's consider the positives first. Because people are packed densely in cities, more land outside cities is left undeveloped. The density of cities also allow efficient delivery of goods and services, such as electricity, education, water, and sewer systems. Cities are easier to travel in and through without the use of a personal vehicle. Cities promote a flourishing cultural life and are hubs for innovation, research, education, and technology, which can all lead to even more energy efficient and environmentally friendly ways of doing things. Cities are also engines of technological and artistic inventiveness that can solve other societal problems. The downsides of cities is that they are typically resource sinks, meaning people often have to import resources such as food, clothing, and building materials. Importing these things usually requires fossil fuels to be burned for transportation. Cities require large expanses of land elsewhere for resources and ecosystem services. For example, they need places to dispose of their trash and they need water reserves for their citizens. In addition to creating airborne and waterborne pollution, cities also give off noise, light, and thermal pollution. Noise pollution is harmful or annoying levels of sound, such as what would be created from an airport, industry, or traffic. Light pollution is the light given off by city buildings which obscures the view of stars in the night sky, or which creeps in windows and makes it difficult for people to sleep at night. Thermal pollution from a city is caused by the heat generating or absorbing structures and objects of a city. For example, buildings, vehicles, factories, and people all emit heat. Additionally, heat-absorbing surfaces like pavement trap this generated heat. When concentrated in a location, this heat adds up and makes the city warmer than the surrounding area. So much so that city centers are measurably and consistently warmer than the suburbs, farmland, and natural areas away from the city center. This phenomenon is called the urban heat island effect. There is a branch of ecology called urban ecology, which holds that cities can be viewed explicitly as ecosystems and that the fundamentals of ecosystem ecology can be applied to the urban environment. Urban ecologists, urban planners, and sustainability specialists advocate that cities can reduce their environmental impacts and improve the lives of their citizens by pursuing sustainable, ecosystem-based approaches to city management. Specifically, these specialists recommend cities use resources efficiently and recycle, develop environmentally friendly technologies, account fully for external costs, offer tax incentives for sustainable practices, use locally produced resources, use organic waste and wastewater to fertilize soil, and encourage urban agriculture. Recycling, urban agriculture, mass transit, and job training for poor. This is just some of the things cities can do to be more sustainable. This type of sustainability is happening in many places, but slowly. One shining example of a city striving for sustainability is New York City. They have the goal of becoming the first environmentally sustainable 21st century city. They plan to reduce greenhouse gases, improve mass transit, plant trees, clean up polluted land and rivers, and enhance access to parks. And all for good reasons. This city will have 1 million more people by 2030. They have already had some success. They have increased energy efficiency, planted 430,000 trees, improved 180 playgrounds, installed 200-mile bike lanes, and acquired 29,000 acres to protect the water supply. Sustainability at the city level is possible. It just takes planning, concerned and active citizens, and the will to act. In conclusion, as half the human population has moved to urban lifestyles, our environmental impact has changed. Impacts are less direct but far more reaching. Urban sustainability makes cities better places to live. Planning and zoning involve long-term visions. Smart growth and new urbanism reduce energy use. Mass transit reduce energy use and emissions. Parks provide health and ecosystem services, and green buildings provide multiple environmental and human health benefits. That concludes this mini lecture on the urban environment and sustainable cities. Please review the weekly outline and complete the activities for this week per the schedule set forth in the outline. Thanks and gig 'em!